pulsar. So this will be your pulsar, which is generating continuous clock, and the other one will come from this. Similarly, for the write enable line, for the RAM, I think you are already having chip selected, always chip select. So CS bar will be grounded. But what about write enable bar? For write enable bar, once again, it may come from two different sources. So one source could be this line itself, and the other one will be logic high, plus 5 volt. So 74157, I am using just 2 multiplexers out of 4 available and use it. So now I may have some select lines connected to this multiplexer, and as we have said that suppose this, I'm just saying that there could be some sort of combinational logic. So some form of combinational logic that will look into all the outputs, including maybe these 3 bits. So depending on, I mean, which particular key you are doing, but whatever key you are using for display, you cannot really display that particular character, right? If you say that D is for display, then in the program mode you cannot enter D. As soon as you try to enter D, it will. So which character do you feel would be appropriate for telling that okay, you go into the display mode?
But when you aren't using.
No, if you are using a number, then maybe you are not using. But suppose in a commercial display, people would like to display any kind of text number. So any alphanumeric character, which may be the special character like plus, minus, star, question mark, period, semicolon, colon, comma, everything. So just looking at the keyboard, do you feel that okay, some character you can use, which is I think people hardly use in the text, at least in a commercial text? Just asking. I mean, may not have a unique answer, but I was thinking of backslash. I never saw backslash or anything in any newspaper, magazine, or any other commercial thing. Unless I write a program, write something backslash in, then probably I need not have to display backslash in general. So I can use that backslash character if, for displaying. Just I'm saying as an idea. So yeah, you can use anything else also. So anyway, I think that much is with you. So now today's experiment, as I was telling, that maybe here, if I put back this figure, I was telling that you need to have 8 such displays where all of them would be connected together in terms of their 7 inputs for the various segments like A to G. And this is a 7447, I think I've written here, 7447. So this will be having just 4 input line. So at most, how many connections I need to go to the board other than these 7? Maybe the control signals for these transistors. So if there are 8 such transistors, I need to have another 8 lines that will go over there. So I'm assuming that the board is having 15 volt power supply. It doesn't have a 5 volt power supply. Otherwise, I could have included the 7447 on that board itself and use the plus 5 volt power supply from there also. So then rather than communicating 7 lines, I can manage with just 4 lines to the, I mean, going from my board to the distant place where this is residing. So it depends on the situation whether I can have a plus 5 volt supply on that display board or not. And but how do you control these transistors now? Assuming that okay, there are the transistors in place, though in simulation I think we may get rid of them.
Sir?
Yes.
So like in the simulation, in place of the transistors, can't we use voltage control switches for doing this?
I do not know. In a digital, probably you will not be able to. Just let me see whether that is available. Is that available? Have you seen where it should become available under switches? Let me see. Sorry.
Sir?
Hi, yes.
Controlling the switches, can we use a multiplexer? Sorry, not a multiplexer,
there is a control switch, current control switch or voltage control switch. I do not know whether it will work, but I'm coming to that. Let us say that, okay, if the transistor is in place, what do you do?
Can we use the demultiplexer?
No, for transistors. And driving the transistors, you are saying, right?
Yeah.
Demultiplexer, I think you are very close, but think about the demultiplexer functionality. What is the demultiplexer functionality? So demultiplexer, then like multiplexer, they generally used to say that, okay, how many lines or some such thing. So what should be the specification of a demultiplexer?
1 to 8.
Okay. So if there are 8 output lines, what do you do with them? 1, 2, 3. So in that way, suppose there are 8 output lines.
Maybe we can connect them to the base of the transistors.
So you can connect this side. Where will you connect this input side? Maybe you can to 0. Okay. So at no point of time you will be connecting it to 1, right? So you are not right. So you are not changing the input data actually. So what you are expecting? You are expecting only a single 0 over here at any particular time, depending on the select lines. Okay. So do you think something very similar exists where I can have, say, active low output 18 number without any such input? I'm only having 3 lines. Depending on the value of the 3 lines, if this line is 0, 0, 0, this first line will become 0. If 0, 0, 1, then second line will become, if 0, 1, 0, then third line. If all bits are high, then the last line will become 0. It's a decoder. Decoder can be active low output, can have active high output. So any of you have used any decoder for maybe in the lab? I do not recall whether you have used, probably have not used. So, or maybe your challenge problem or something like this, anyone has used any multiplexer, not multiplexer, decoder? Okay, so just check up. We generally use something like 74138. And 138 actually in a slightly different configuration. You can use it as a demultiplexer also, but as such it is considered to be a decoder, 3-line to 8-line decoder. So what is the number I said? 74138. So 38 is probably easy recalling. You may say that it is 3-line to 8-line demultiplexer. So depending on this line. Now, where should I connect them? They should go to the base of the transistors, right? If I look into the base of the transistors, so then at a particular instant of time, only one base of the transistor is becoming low. That means one of the PNP transistor will become on. Now, which transistor will become on? How do I decide? I have to give the corresponding pattern in these select lines, the 3 input lines. So where from I derive those connections?
The 7447 will be fed by the RAM, right?
7447. So let me show that connection. So this is what you have already made. So right now what we are proposing, that this 7447 already you are having, which is connected to just a single 7-segment display. Now we are saying that, okay, let that connection be there, but in parallel you connect so many other, maybe 7 other LED displays. And where I think right now we assume the transistors are there in practice.
So that the 3 inputs of the decoder should be connected to a counter.
Okay.
Clock of which will be same
okay.
with the clock of this circuit.
Right. So when we say that there will be 8 such outputs, so I expect only 8 numbers to be displayed at a time, right? 8 values to be displayed at a time. So let us look at your roll number. Your roll number is 9 character wide, and we have put something. In that case, you may have to put 10. But since the decoder is 3 to 8, otherwise you need to go for 4 to 16 decoders. So or something called a I think BCD to decimal kind of decoder is also there. But let us first use it so that you do not have to do much varying. Though 8 and 10 doesn't make much difference, but still. So for 8, your roll number generally starts with, I think, 19, and then followed by some 2 alphabetic character, and how many characters? 5, right? Yes. 1 or 3 followed by that. So I believe that whatever is your this code 1 or 3, then at least you are having 2 zeros over here. Third one could be 0, could be non-zero. So in that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let us just compress this a little bit. So it is let us say we display 19, whatever is your departmental code. Just put 1 0 over there in place of 2 0. Okay, anyway, earlier we said that okay, there is a long 0 getting displayed and then your roll number. So now it is getting compressed into 8 characters. Okay, so whether we have mentioned last time that how to make a blinking effect, that okay, between zeros there will be blinking, and not only between zeros, between any two characters when they are displaying, rather than having a continuous display, there will be a blinking. So if there are 2 zeros, in between there will be a short blank, and if there are 3 zeros, there will be 2 blanks. So we can identify whether we are displaying 2 zeros or 3 zeros or just a single zero. So how to do that, whether we have mentioned last time? With your roll number generation. No, that is if you remember, there is a pin called BI or RBO. Probably we have mentioned about that. There is another pin called RBI actually. Anyway, I'm showing both on the same side, RBI. So just if you can recall in a minute what they are, what is RBI, what is RBO or BI. Do you remember? Anyone? No one is saying anything. That for blanking leading. So ripple blanking input. Blanking input. That is for blanking the initial zeros, the leading zeros as they used to call. That if they are leading zeros, rather than displaying 0, you blank it out. So in your calculator or any other such devices, you have seen that if you are having 10-digit display and your answer is just 2-digit, it is not showing 8 zeros followed by 2 digits. It is simply blanking out 8 digits and show only 2 digits of result. So in that case, RBI will be helpful. That only if the input is 0 and it is also getting a signal from its neighbor that okay, on the left hand side everything is 0, then only it will blank itself out, otherwise it will not blank out. So that is conditional, particular to the input of 0, it must be there. Whereas this RBO, it is actually meant for giving information to the next digit that okay, I have blanked out or not, and so in case you are also 0, you may blank out. So that is the information. But this can also be used as an input. Perhaps we have mentioned that if you connect it to the ground, then unconditionally it will blank out whatever be the input, whether it is 0, 1, 2 or whatever. So can we use that line for having the blinking effect? No, if you ground it, nothing will be displayed. So if I want a blink or a blank between 2 successive digits, whether it be 0 or something else, so I need to make it ground for a short time between displaying 2 digits. So how do you think it can be possible? 1 digit is getting displayed for how much duration? 1 clock cycle. Okay, so for 7493, it is the difference between 2 falling edges. For 193, it will be the difference between 2 rising edges. So do you think the difference between 2 rising edges and 2 falling edges will be different irrespective of its duty cycle? You know what is duty cycle, I believe. Or you say that no, if it is 50%, then only I will get identical, T means the clock period for between rising edges and between falling edges.
Duty cycle doesn't affect.
Okay, so whatever is that, so you will always get the time period of the clock. So between 2 rising edges, whatever is the time.
So maybe we can do one thing. Maybe we can change the duty cycle and keep this clock as BI.
No, you can feed. You need not have to change the duty cycle. Directly you can feed this clock to BI. Then what will happen? Feed the clock. That is because earlier for the full duration the display was there. Now if I connect it, because it is active low basically, BI or RBI, So whenever the clock is low, during this phase, there will not be any display. So 50% of the time you will get the display, rest 50% time it will be blank. So between every digit getting displayed, you will get a blank. Okay, so try that. I believe it will work in simulator, though I think lab staff initially reported there is some problem, but I believe I once tried and found that okay, it is working even on the simulator. In real life, we have seen that okay, it works. But one lab staff somehow, I believe, has said that there might be some problem. But anyway, just check it out. But this is the way, without affecting any of the other portion of the circuit, you can just achieve that part. So that is just so.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So we are supplying the same input to all the 7 display, right?
7 segment displays, right?
Yes, so all will have the same output, right?
All will have the same output, provided that they are getting the power supply.
Okay.
So that is why we have made this extra arrangement of putting this transistor, which will act like a switch. So suppose your roll number is 19 something. So then I would certainly want 1 to be displayed here, and other displays must not show 1. I mean, unless you are having 1 somewhere else. But for this first digit, certainly I want only to appear over here. So in that case, what will happen? I will, for 1, only B and C segment should lit up. So only for B and C, suppose this side is A, then this side is F, G, and so on. So only B and C will become low, but that will become low for all of them. So if all of them are powered up, then everyone would show 1. But right now what we will do, we will only make this transistor on, the other transistor we will keep them off. For that one, because it's a PNP transistor, I need to make the base low for only 1 transistor. If the other bases I apply logic 1, that is plus 5 volt, there is no VB potential, VB is 0, transistor won't turn on. So for these cases, I will keep the other displays off by providing this transistor, if you consider it to be a switch. So keep the switch off. So in that case, 1 will only be displayed there. Then in the next cycle, I will set this one such that 9 is getting displayed. At that time, I will turn this transistor on. So rather than making a 0 here, I will put this one to 1. I will give a 0 here, keeping others still 1. So here, then because line is supplying 9 throughout, so anyone who has got its power supply would display that. But right now, only this one is powered up. So this one will display. In that way, suppose the last digit of your roll number, if it is 3, when I am displaying 3, I am giving appropriate signal. Only this I am powering up, so the last digit is being displayed over here. Now,
so then
the same cycle. Yes.
So then means large display will show 3. So all the other 7 will be means off, no?
Right. They will remain off.
So they will show blank, right? Means
they will show blank. They will show blank. But if you repeat this one at very high speed, then what will happen? Because of our persistence of vision, we won't be able to understand that, okay, this is, remaining on for some time and becoming off sometime. It will appear that, okay, it is always there. Okay, so for that one, actually, there is some, intensity related things also there, which right now I think I'm not considering, because once again, something like a duty cycle, if you say that it is only glowing 1/8 of the total time period, right? Anyone is glowing only 1/8 of the time period. So the average intensity would appear to be very dim compared to when it is glowing. If you can capture that moment with a camera, and then you see that, okay, what is your perception? So for that one, generally, the peak current being given over here is somewhat more, though the average current is less. So it will be having a peak current which looks like this. Whereas it will also be having a peak current just shifted in time, something like this. This one will be having a peak current which is like this. So that peak current is generally much higher compared to the average current that you send to the LED for normal glowing. Normal means continuous glowing. So I think right now we are not going into that much of details. If you really design,
so how to control the switching of the transistor, like.
Switching of the transistor, let me just take another figure. So if I use PNP transistor, then it is relatively easy because I know the voltage at the emitter. It is plus 5 volt, plus 15 volt or whatever. I'm calling it plus V for display, it might not be the same as the V for TTL circuit as plus 5 volt. So this is the V display power supply. So now, as we are saying that the transistor should be in saturation mode or in cutoff. So when the transistor is on, at that time it is in the saturation mode. So for saturation, do you remember what I need to do? When I say the transistor will enter into the saturation, what I need to guarantee?
Sir?
Yes.
So like the 7447, like its input will be connected to what? The input 7447?
7447 input. I'm just coming to that. Just let me first answer his question. So here, suppose you are having the display. So it is supplying to the display and maybe a resistance is over there. So what is the current that it is drawing? If it is drawing some current for this display, if I call that one as I display, which is basically now its collector current, how much should be the base current? So your collector current is equal to I display. Now how much should be your base current? How do you decide? Tell me the relationship between base current and collector current.
It will be 1 by beta times of
1 by beta times IC.
Right. So suppose I calculate it like this, IC by beta, then I find just arbitrarily I am saying, suppose for this large display, it is drawing 100 milliampere of current. So you know that.
Sir?
I'm just coming to you. Say 100 milliampere. If I know the beta of that one, suppose the beta of such power transistor is generally on the lower side. Suppose it is 50. Then I say that, okay, IB is 2 milliampere. But I think now Amit Akshis has a point.
Yeah, like I will be much closer to IT saturation.
So here, this calculation will be valid only when the transistor is in which mode?
Active.
Active mode.
In saturation, what will happen?
Beta will be less.
Like beta will be much less.
So IC is getting essentially saturated to a particular value. So beta IB, it is no more being able to follow it. Whatever be the theoretical calculation of that, IC will never be able to rise more than that particular value. If I call that as IC sat, which is basically limited by this voltage and this resistance. So in that case, what will happen? This 2 milliampere, what I am getting is the lower bound of the current that is required to keep that one in saturation. So as a factor of safety or because of other, suppose temperature changes, beta value changes, etc. So I may say that, okay, if I apply a IB 10 times of that, suppose 20 milliampere, then theoretically, if I use same 50 as the beta, though it will not be in that case, it should be 1 ampere. But here, because of the display power supply voltage and this resistance, 1 ampere cannot flow. Suppose this is 15 volts and suppose this is just how much, 150 ohms. So then how much current I can expect in that case?
0.1 milliampere. 0.1 ampere.
0.1 ampere, 100 milliampere. Okay, so I know that, okay, current will be limited by this resistor, and this voltage cannot go negative, certainly can go very close to 0, maybe 0.2 volt, 0.3 volt. So in that case, I know that, okay, the current will be 100 milliampere. So if I increase the base current beyond that calculated value, that when it is just coming from the active region to the saturation mode, so 2 milliampere is the minimum current required, which may not guarantee to keep it in saturation. I may give some 10 times, 5 times, so depending on other factors, that, okay, at what temperature, and there might be beta variation of the transistors also for other reasons. So maybe I choose a 20 milliampere of current, and then I say that, okay, if this is 15 volt, I know that during saturation, what is the VB voltage? VB of a transistor?
0.7 volt.
0.7, but if it is in saturation, then the current is, so it generally goes to 0.8 or even beyond that. So, but anyway, it will not be very large or very different from 0.7 volt. So maybe 0.8 volt or 0.85 volt. So yeah, from this calculation, you know that, okay, if you connect this side to logic low, so this side we are saying that it is logic low, and probably from your class, you know that, okay, logic low need not mean 0 volt. It can go down to 0 volt, but it will hardly go to 0 volt. So what is the maximum value that it can have?
0.2 to 0.5 volts.
Maybe what you call, I mean, what parameter, by what parameter you specify that?
DIL.
Is it IL, or because this will be coming from the output of some other IC?
VOL.
VOL. Okay, so you need to check that. So it might be 0.4 volt, 0.5 volt. So I need to take which one, lower value or higher value for this calculation? Suppose I want to find out the resistor which will ensure at least a base current of say 20 milliampere. So I want to find out that for minimum voltage difference also it should work. So on this side, since this voltage is on higher side, I need to see what maximum voltage it can reach, maybe 0.5 volts. So 15 minus 0.8 and 0.5 over here. So 15 minus 0.8 is how much? 14.2 and maybe 0.5. So 14 minus 2, 14.2 minus 0.5, it is 13.7. Divide by 20 milliamps. So whatever is that, in that way I can find out this resistor. So it will be like that. If you use a transistor, then in that way you need to calculate the base resistor such that it provides enough base current to drive the transistor into saturation when you want to turn it on. Otherwise, there will be a problem in the current supply to the. So Amritakshu, you are having some other point to make, or you are just only mentioning about the beta that formula?
Yeah,
okay. So here, I think maybe Orpon was having some question about where do I connect 7447 or something you said?
Yes, about the input part of the 7447.
Right. So input part is right now with the RAM only. So I'm not drawing that rest of that 7-segment display here. So whatever is there on the other board, so your other paper, you may consider that to be the display board. So here I may have a 7447. I'm sending the 7 connections to that other paper where I have drawn those things. So here initially in this RAM, maybe you have put 8 values, like your roll number, say that compressed roll number, whatever I have mentioned, suppose 19 EE, or other than E, is there anyone? I asked last time, I guess. 19E, so 1 or 3, whatever, and then 2 zeros, you're compressing to 1 0 followed by last 2 digits. So now it will become an 8-character code. So you put that in the RAM. So in this case, I think rather than using the 4th bit from the counter, you can connect that one also to the ground, because only 8 locations of the RAM right now we are using. Or else you can repeat this number. That is also possible. So in the lab class, actually we used to conduct this one as a group of 2 students. So then we used to say that, okay, you put both your roll numbers one after the other so that it occupies 16 places in the RAM. But here, since you are doing individually, maybe your own roll number you can put in the first 8 locations, and the counter also you can use it as a mod 8 counter. So you can remove the MSB connection to the address. You can keep the output of that one open, whereas the particular address line you can tie it up to once again to ground. So only first 8 locations you are using. So suppose you have written this 190EE in this location. Suppose location 000. I'm using just 3-bit address in that case. You have put 1 in 001. You have put 9 and so on. 010. You have put E. 011. You have put E. In that way, I think if you have written up to 111, then it will go back to 000. Okay, if you wish, you can try with a 10 mod 10 counter also, but in that case, you need to use a different decoder, because a 3 to 8 line decoder won't be able to drive more than 8 LEDs. So.
So, but why would we need a space like an extra blank character? We are anyways displaying simultaneously, right?
In that case, you require 10 displays to put. So that is why I think let us keep it, because just to understand the concept, 8 or 10 doesn't matter really. You are not really making a final product. So let us take with 8. So use that first 8 locations only. So I think with that probably you can try out. And there is another IC. I do not know whether you are aware of that. Most probably 7442. Just one moment. Let me browse that and see. Digital by number 7442. Yes, 7442 is something which is a BCD to decimal decoder. Okay, so if you want to use 10 displays, then you require 10 output rather than 8 output from the decoder. So in that case, you can use something like 74192, that is a 10-state counter, and you can use a 74. Earlier I said that you have to use 74138, which is basically 8 line as the output, and this one I am saying 7442 is having 10 output lines. So certainly rather than 3 input lines, there will be 4 input lines. So now you need to connect them from the counter output. So if you connect from the counter output, what will happen? Counter will address a particular location. You are reading 1. You want to display that in the first place, in the first display, right? So now is it whether it makes any sense that if I connect these lines, the base of this transistor from the decoder, because decoder only one output will be low at a time. So I am basically powering up only one of these 7-segment LEDs at a time, depending on which one is becoming low. And if I connect these select lines to the counter, so then counter is, providing the output from a RAM from a specific location, and this location, if this is the first location, I want this to be displayed in the first LED. If this is from second location, I want this to be displayed on the second LED, and so on. So from wherever I read, whatever is its location, accordingly, I am sending the decoder same information, so that decoder is making the appropriate output line low, which I am using to power up the specific 7-segment display. So is the scheme clear? So whatever we have already drawn, with that you need to connect a decoder and that board for 7-segment display with common bus.
So in the simulation, like how will it look like? Will it like everything will be lit up simultaneously, or like?
No, in simulation, because you are doing it in much slow speed, it will show cycle by cycle. So you will not feel the effect of that persistence of vision. At a time, you will see that only one is glowing.
Okay.
So if you go to the next slide, so this will be your 3 to 8 decoder, where from this will come from these 3 lines. If you use a 3 to 8 decoder, these 3 lines essentially will go to this 74138, and they will go to the transistors. But now the question is how to mimic the behavior of the transistors, or how to get rid of the transistor, knowing fully well that in practice you may require the transistor, but just to avoid the mixed mode simulation. So I do not know, you may check whether you have installed this design, what is that software called, the circuit maker, in mixed mode also, whether to support mixed mode, because it generally support mixed mode, but during installation, if you have installed those files, but it may take a lot of time for that mixed mode simulation. So anyway, right now I think I'm not insisting on that. So tell me a mechanism where I can get rid of those transistors.
Sir, I had one more question before that.
Sure.
So like when the RAM output is cycling through say 1988, 100, whatever.
Okay.
We need to make sure that when it is outputting say 1, we only give input to the, or like we only turn on the first switch of the of that thing. First transistor. So that needs to think as well, right?
Because we are using it from the same counter. So whatever be the counter state, if counter state is 000, then it is actually accessing the very first location where you have stored 1, which I want to display in the first 7-segment display. So only thing I need to ensure while writing, earlier I said that okay, you can write it anywhere.
1 in the first location.
Right, 1 it has to be in the first location. So if there is any reset mechanism, maybe for simulator I think there is no problem. But in actual practice, whenever you go into that write mode once again, program mode once again, right, you need to make provision to reset the counter. But that reset has to be withdrawn also. So reset will be just for a momentary. So you need to use it. So this is this type of.
Sir,
Yes.
So can you repeat what you said about the input, like when you'll be inputting just now?
I was telling that last time when you made this one, I said that, okay, you need not have to really guarantee that the first location, which is having address 000, you are putting the first character of your roll number. If by that time the counter has increased somewhere, suppose 011, here you are putting your one roll number, and the first character of your roll number, then also it will circulate, because we want a sequential display which repeats itself. So it doesn't really matter that, okay, where it starts from. We'll see anyway that it is circulating. But right now the problem is, as I think Amitaksha has rightly pointed out, that if it is not placed in the first location, because I will be sending this 3-bit information of address to decide that at which particular 7-segment display that character will actually be getting displayed. So I want 1 to be displayed here, 9 to be displayed here. And this one will lit up only when this transistor will get a 0 output, 0 input at its base, which will eventually come from the decoder. So decoder should get the information that, okay, right now the address is 000, then only it will lit this thing up. So these two things has to be ensured that when I am lighting up the first character, RAM has also been written with whatever it is supposed to display at the first character in this location. Because if it got shifted, then 1 rather than showing in the first character, it will be displayed in some other place, which is not desirable, certainly. So I need to ensure that the first character is written on the very first location, which is 000.
Whenever we want to enter a new number, so we have to reset the counter to 0.
Right. So think about some such mechanism that, okay, how you can do that. So now is the problem clear? You can reuse whatever you have already designed. So most of the part is already designed. Only thing is that you need to make extra connection with this 7-segment display. You need not have to put more than 1 7447 also. So only 7 extra 7-segment display you need to put, because 1 already is in place. And you, rather than connecting the output, connecting the power supply through a resistor to the +5 volt, you need to use this logic. But can I directly connect without the transistor? Suppose I say that, okay, right now it's in simulator, I don't care about the current requirement. I only look at the logic level. So I connect directly the output of the decoder to the power supply of these chips. So, and power supply of the 7-segment display. So whether that will work? Yes. What will happen? Suppose if I connect all of them. All of them without the...
So at a time only 1 will be 0, right?
Yes. Whatever.
So only 1 will be lit up.
That is what
I think we have to use a NOT. We have to use NOT gates.
Right. Because they are active low, and I want to give them high voltage at the power supply. Because of the transistor, there was something like an inverter action. Transistor is having from base to collector, you know that, okay, there will be 180-degree phase inversion. So it is like this, that when I apply a 0, then the current is flowing. Okay, but when I apply 1, there is no current. So it becomes something sort of active low. But now when I say that I am deriving the power directly from the logic output, that means I need to make it high. So that is something like an inverted thing. So in that case, either you have to use 8 inverters connected with that, or
use a common cathode LED.
Or you can use, so then you need to replace that 7447 actually. Okay, so I think last year I suggested that, and then some students said that we need to then modify our earlier design to some extent, that rather than 7447 we need to change to 7448, then even in place of common anode we have to put common cathode. So they found that, okay, it might be easier to put even common anode display, but just put 8 inverters at the output of each of them.
Can't we use DMUX with input as 1?
DMUX, which IC, tell me?
I don't know, it's 3-bit DMUX, so whenever the, according to select line, the output will be 1 and all the other bits will be 0.
What is the IC? Just check out and tell me the number. I said 138. What other IC you can have? Active, high. Right now, I do not find any corresponding IC. Okay, so please check it up. Another thing I did not try, I was thinking of trying, but that is also not proper in actual practice. But suppose if I have put something like a buffer, so the input of the buffer, if it is coming from the power supply, which essentially is logic 1, so that side will be either at logic 1 or it will be tri-stated. So in that case, what I can use, suppose I can use 8 buffers. But I have not tried it myself, so I do not know whether it will work. Philosophically, it should work. So in that case, can I use buffers, just like your 74125 or 126?
So then what will be the control signal to the buffer?
If I have chosen 125, then the control signals itself are active low, right? Then I can directly connect them to the decoder. That whenever it is low, only one of the buffers will become active and it will be giving a high logic. But that is also not the correct way of doing that, because those buffers, I do not know whether they can supply that much of current. But at least in simulation, I think you may try. But just check maybe with the one display and one buffer first, that if you make such a circuit, whether it works or not. Okay, so maybe a buffer with a resistor over here. In simulator, you may put no resistor, but in practice, I think certainly it will blow out the display. So whether I need to connect the resistor at the output, or I can shift it to the input of the buffer as well.
Yeah, at a time only, like time to be going to one of them.
No, that is fine, but the output is not derived from the input, right? So output current will not be limited. Even if you put something at the input, because output is derived from the original power supply. It's not derived from the input. So if you put the resistor at the input, final current will not be limited. It will still be full logic, lower logic high with very low impedance output. So I need to put that only at the higher end, but output end. Anyway, so you can try that one and see. So I believe the problem statement is clear, what you need to do.
Sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, for the blanking thing, will it be isolated from this circuit? I don't know, like the name you mentioned.
Come once again, what you said?
Like we are using something to do the blanking after each digit, right?
Blanking, you are talking about this question or the other one?
I mean, this question only, sir.
Okay, so can you frame your question properly? Because the blanking part, I am not being able to understand actually. Which part you are referring as blanking?
So we are going to display the 8 digits, and after each digit, you said that we should be displaying a blank, right?
Each digit should be. No, that I told you about the other problem, that in your original roll number display, where there are multiple zeros, how to so that is not related to this particular problem. I said about when you have done your first experiment about your roll number display using some combinatorial logic, you have done some Karnoff map and
yes. Okay, so we did not do that today.
No, here, because there are multiple displays, so we can see more than one zero if that is there. But anyway, we have compressed a couple of zeros into just a single zero. So only there will be 2 zeros if your roll number last 2 digit is containing a 0. Okay, suppose 03. So then it will be 003. But in that case, 2 zeros will be displayed side by side.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
sir, why are we using only 8 bits? Why not full roll number display?
You can try that only to save your time.
Okay, sir.
So if you use 9, If you use 9 or 10, then 74138 will not help because the total outputs are limited to 8. So that is what I said that okay, try with 8. Otherwise, you can try with that 7442 that I have mentioned, 10 line output. Yes.
So if I use the 192 counter like the, the 10 bit, so will it be fine, or we have to convert it to a 74193?
No, finally, how many displays you plan to use, 8 or 10?
The only 3 bits are possible, right, in the decoder. So we have to use only 8.
If you use 138, that is what I'm saying. If you use 138, then only 8 displays at most you can connect. But if you plan to use something like a mod 10 counter and show the 10 digits, but anyway, if 1 digit is blank, you really do not require the 10th 7-segment display at all. But anyway, in that case, you may use that 10-line decoder 7442. So it will be a BCD to 10-line decoder. So if you use a BCD counter, that is a mod 10 counter like 192, you can connect the 4 outputs into the 4 inputs of 7442. It will just decode up to 10 states and then come back once again to 0 as soon as the counter comes back.
Okay. Sir? So, sir?
Yes.
So like, so today, sir, like we have to just the last week's circuit will be same. Just we have to connect one decoder using and then replace the earlier display by 8 or 10 displays, right? And connect the decoder using that tri-state buffer, so from the counter.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, but like, do we have to use like transistors or like directly connect them?
No, don't use transistor because I do not know. At least in my installation, I could not run that mixed mode simulation. So it was showing something, but the results and other things I could not capture properly. And it is also taking a lot of time. So rather than doing that, because we know the functionality, let us try directly with logic without using a transistor.
So we can directly connect them, right? By inverting it, like by using a manual inverter.
Once again, if you the voice got garbled in between, I could not listen to it.
So I was saying, like after the output of the decoder, we can directly like connect them using an inverter, right? Like or like
it depends on how you are connecting. If you are using tri-state buffer, then you can connect it directly. Or if you plan to supply the power directly from this, then you require an inverter. Because otherwise,
I was asking like whether it will work or not. Like directly if we connect inverter and connect.
It will work in simulation. In practice, I think we should not do that because the 138 output that is not supposed to supply that much of current. But in I think this simulator, it is just called a switch mode simulator. So it doesn't care about the actual voltage and current requirements, etc. It just look into the logic itself.
So today we can use them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I have one question regarding the multiplexing. So, sir, every time we want to enter a digit, we would need to press that backslash or whatever key we assign to for like writing the data, right?
I could not make out the question fully. Just
like every time we want to enter a data into the RAM, so we will have to press that backslash and then enter the value, right?
Yeah, that's whatever. I mean, because right now any character which is not there in your roll number, so if you choose that, that will do.
No, and that's why I was asking. Like, do we have to press that whatever character is the backslash? Do we have to press that every time we want to enter a digit?
Every time you want to change, suppose you want to change it to your friend's roll number, so then you may try that.
So, no, suppose I want to enter two digits, 1 and 9. So do we need to enter the backslash 2 times?
No. Just, once you type anything other than backslash, that means the 74157, that is the multiplexer select line is now deselected. I mean, it is going to the other option, in the so-called right option.
Yes, sir, that is where I have the like doubt. So if we assign the slash and we use some combinatorial logic or whatever to make the select line say 1, then once we press some number, the select line goes to 0, right?
Yes.
So then we cannot enter say the next digit. How do you enter the next?
No, probably I think there is a gap of understanding and what I'm saying. So where are you connecting the the select line. So just take an example. How we are deriving the output that will be finally driving the select line. Give any examples? It can be backslash, it can be anything else.
Say suppose I enter backslash, so the select line goes to 1.
Goes to 1 means now what will be the clock source? Suppose if I say that this is the select line, is it visible? I mean, where I'm writing?
Yeah.
Okay. So now whenever you press backslash, that means you go to display mode, right? Backslash is for display mode. Okay. So in display mode, which one? Suppose you said the backslash means this line I'm taking it active high, so it will go to high. So out of these two sources, which one now it will choose for the clock source? The clock. So this side I'm marking as 1. This side I'm marking as 0. For write enable, which one do we it will choose?
The 1.
Logic high. Okay, this one is 1, this one is 0. Now as soon as you press any key other than backslash, right?
Oh, okay, I got it.
Then it will shift to 0 and it will remain 0 till you press once again that backslash. So whatever you put, it will be in the so-called write mode. For the user, you may call it program mode, program and display rather than read and write.
So only for displaying we need to enter that slash.
Only for displaying, right?
Yeah.
When you say programming is finished, so then you display that.
Sir, last experiment we.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, sir, in the last experiment, I actually didn't use multiplexer. I used SPDT. So, like in this experiment, if I use SPDT, is it okay for like select shifting between the read and the write modes? I actually didn't use multiplexer.
But in that case, it has to be manually done, right?
Yes, sir. Manually, I have to like toggle between whenever I want to write the information, I have to like toggle that thing.
So what I personally did for my own checking, I have just treated these 3 digits that whenever it is becoming 0, 1, 1 or something like that. So I have put a simple 3-input AND gate and fed it over here. So it is not just a single character, but any character in that set where that value could be 0, 1, 1. So any numeric character, I think if I press, because I was trying with only numbers, so I said that any numeric character if I press, it will go into the display mode. But in your case, if you want to make a specific key, maybe you have to use a 7-input kind of logic. So that's all. I think maybe 2 or 3 gates you need to put. So if you feel, you can replace that manual switch also in that case. Because you are already having 74157 in place or not? You are having a switch there.
No, sir. I didn't place 74157. I used in SPDT here, like to select. Is it okay? Like.
It is okay, but you may learn to use that one also. It will be just as a. So if you find time, you can use that.
Sir,
but when is the deadline for today's solution?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, as you suggested that we should use, we can use tri-state also. So I tried using tri-state, but it isn't working. But the inverter is working.
I thought philosophically it should work, but whether it will work in the simulator, I didn't try myself.
So can you use voltage control switches like for replacing the transistors? There is a voltage.
But once again, I have not tried it myself. So anything, I mean, you can utilize in the simulator, that will do. Or a better option could have been just by placing 8 inverters. I think they may not take much time, but they're certainly going to work. So whichever you feel, I think we do not have any problem in that.
So today is it compulsory to like automate this signal, like a select signal? Because last time like I used the multiplexer selected manually, like using switches.
So I think automation won't take much time. That is what I'm saying. Just maybe you need to put 2 or 3 gates together.
Yeah.
So if you can try, because today otherwise the workload is very little.
Yes.
So in that case, I think you may try that.
Okay.
Just I don't know whether I will be able to share my screen.
So when do we have to submit this?
Can you tell me when you would like to submit? Why unnecessarily should carry the burden? Submit it as quickly as possible. So right now it is only 3:30, not even 3:30. Less than that.
the midnight.
Okay, consider that. Okay, just let me see. Sharing the screen often. Could you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So the simulator is visible in. So in both the, I mean, Amritakshu, in your panel also it is visible.
Yeah.
Because 2 meets I'm simultaneously sharing. Sometimes it crashes. So now I'm just turning it on. So can you see that? Okay, it's showing. I just put 19 EE 30025 or something. 19E 302500025. But it takes a little while in changing that. So the last character is first displayed here and then it is changing.
Like all of them are not displaying at the same time, right?
No, because here I think in the simulator it is just showing cycle by cycle what is happening in every cycle. So in practice, I think since it will become very fast, so you will see the effect of, I mean, as if everything is glowing at a time.
Can you change the clock frequency?
Here you can change, but
so I think if you will increase the simulation speed, it will show.
Sir, if you increase like
with the maximum, so it may give you some blinking effect because simulation speed is maximum. How much I can get? 30, right?
30.
So then it is showing some this blinking kind of effect.
Okay.
And it becomes a little abrupt because possibly the communication between this interface and that, I think. So in simulator, I think you may not find. So the earlier one actually was easy to visualize. So that is what I have slowed it down. That okay, at least we see that okay, one by one it is coming up. So maybe with 2 also, I guess it may work. Let us check the simulation speed too. Yes. But there is a small annoying effect. Do you observe that? What is that?
Yeah, it shows some different digit.
The left-hand neighbor, whatever it is supposed to display, it is also getting displayed for a very small amount of time. So it may so happen if the neighboring digit is 8 and the next digit is 1, it will appear mostly like 1, but the other segments which are not supposed to glow,
Low intensity.
right? So it might not be visually disturbing depending on how much intensity I will get, but you may actually have to get rid of that. But here once again it is coming because everything is idealized. So it is saying that okay, after 1 tick time that is getting high, so something like this because of that. In practice, I believe this will not create any problem. At least in the lab, we made such a structure. So where.
Sir, here you used common cathode display or common anode?
Here I have used. If you look at the driver, then I think it will become apparent. So look at the driver IC. Can you read what is
cathode?
Yes, sir. Use CC common cathode.
So it is common cathode. So I have used 193, but it is just 3 bit. So I think very simple, simple modification from the previous one.
Out of context. In lab, while connecting all of these displays, you use like breadboard and wires.
Right.
So many displays.
Yes. So that is what I was referring. I do not know whether in this batch or the other batch, that in the lab actually you are learning something else which you are not learning here. That is the troubleshooting part. Okay, for example, someone is saying that okay, in the adder experiment, that he is getting always one more than whatever is intended result. So he is displaying it from the output of 7483 through 7447. So he claims, I mean, he comes to our table and says that, okay, I'm getting one more than the expected result. So what do you think that we would suggest that, okay, check that? In 7483 error circuit, if someone says that I'm getting one more than the expected result, so I'm just stopping the sharing.
Sir, in your circuit you didn't use any multiplexer, right? In your circuit?
In my circuit, I have no. I did it in some different way. The RAM writing, I didn't do that really. It was a cheating sort of, you can say. So anyway, you can find it out later on.
Sir, yes. Sir, can you please repeat why the previous display was displaying on the next one for a very short amount of time?
So you try to explain that when that display, whatever it is supposed to display, where from it is getting the information? It is getting the information from that 7-bit bus only. No, not from the counter is also there, but I'm talking about a specific display that what it has to display. Where from it is getting? That is from the 7-bit bus. Now the 7-bit bus is changing its state from the whatever its previous neighbor has to display to what I have to display, right? So if that
basically the 7-bit bus and the clock are not synced because of the delay.
So in this case, what is happening? Let me show you the figure. So now you can see my paper. So in the simulator, I think everything is idealized in terms of that tick duration. I think we have mentioned it is 10 times 1/10 of a clock. So it says that every component is having 1 tick delay. So when the counter output settles, and then this counter output I am giving to 74183, after 1 tick delay, the output is actually giving the proper, I mean, what is the intended output. So it takes 1 tick delay from the time the counter provides a particular output. So when I want to display, suppose at the third location, this is the address is 011. So now third output will become low, but that will happen only after 1 tick time from the counter settling to 011. Now what about the RAM? RAM output will also come after 1 tick period from that. So these two are happening at the same time, that when I'm choosing a particular display and when it is coming, so then 7447, it will have another time delay by clock tick unit. So whatever is supposed to be displayed at the third place, this counter is generating the address 3. So after 1 tick period, it says that, okay, you turn on. But the corresponding data, when it will arrive here, after how much time from counter settling? Yes?
So after 1 tick it will arrive. So
after 2 tick period, because one is RAM output will settle in 1, and then 7447 will take another period. So
it's total 3, right? Like 1 counter, 1 RAM, and the other one.
No, I'm saying after setting the counter, I'm not counting from the clock. From the clock, you are correct. From the clock, if I count, so I'm saying that, okay, from the counter, because that is the common point, one side is going to the 74183, this side the delay is 1 unit, but this side the delay is 2 unit. As a result, what is happening? This one is getting the new value only after 2 tick time, whereas that particular segment is chosen only after 1 tick time. So there is a common 1 tick time where it is still getting the previous data. So it is getting displayed for that one. In practice, I think it will not generally happen.
Okay.
And even if it is displayed, it is for so small time. Yes.
A buffer delays the output by 1 tick period, right?
If you put a buffer, then probably it will be so.
You can just put a physical buffer.
Probably, I mean, if you put the inverter, because then you can directly use it. So probably it will be mitigated. But in real life, I think we do not really have to care, because maybe this is for so small period. It is basically for the propagation delay time of those things, which are typically in the range of hundreds of nanoseconds for the 74 series chips at most. And your clock period, to even satisfy your persistence of vision, maybe if you run it at 10 kilohertz or so, then it will be good enough. Or even 1 kilohertz might be good enough. Okay, so any other question, any other query?
Yes, sir. Sir, Last time you explained the use of that delaying circuit, use of buffer and AND gate, but in my simulation, I did not require any such arrangement.
You
It
are
was
using
working fine without it.
Circuit Maker 2000 or 6 only?
6 only, sir.
Then you just send me sometimes. You are using only one buffer, or I mean one inverter, or what?
Yes, sir. Only one inverter, sir. I sent last time I sent it.
I'll check it up then.
Yes, I also didn't require any.
No, that is what I find that in general I think we do not need to have that, but I do not know. At least in my simulator it didn't work really. So I will try to simulate your circuit in my simulator and then see whether I am making some mistake in understanding or not. Anything else you would like to discuss, or a very important thing? Everybody is here, I guess. What is the total? Yeah, 100.
Sir, what is the deadline for submission?
Tell me. I think people are asking about midnight, or
yes, sir.
You can submit before midnight.
Yes, sir. We are not audible.
So okay, midnight will be fine, I guess.
Sir, hello. Sir,
yes.
Sir, I had another query, sir. These circuits, sir, if I submit it using the SPDT, in spite of using the multiplexer, will it be okay?
Okay, just write it on the comment section, because this particular one doesn't really ask you to automate. So that will as such be fine. Now that most important thing what I was talking about. So probably if you recall that the evaluation will be in there are two components in the evaluation. One is that day-to-day and whatever you are doing performance for that. The second one is a lab test. So last time I think some people said that about the institute guideline for the distribution, they said that it is approximately 50-50. I mean, if we announce earlier, it can be even 40-60, but generally they prefer to have it in 50-50. But then if 50% comes from the final lab test, and somehow there is a problem of connectivity, or on that particular day your laptop is broken or have some other problem. Suppose last year there were, I think, COVID, so some people are saying that okay, our family members are ill. So all this kind of situation might happen. So they said that okay, it might not be very fair to have a 50% weighted test at the end only. They said that okay, at least whether it is possible to have one more test, just like mid-semester test and so on, so that even if we cannot appear at the final test or do that one, somehow meagerly submit that, so that I may not get a D or P in that case, because otherwise if 50% is totally taken out, then even if you do everything, then the lower, the upper bound becomes D. So it quite likely would people would get P in that case. So that will not be fair. So in that way, we plan to have a midterm test. Weightage of that one can certainly be dynamically changed later on, depending on how you feel. If you feel that one was relatively easy, we can have more weightage to that. So let me check the time. We can either have it next week, that is on 30th September, or we can have it on 7th latest. Then I think Puja holiday will become so.
I think near 7th we'll be having quite a few times.
7th, right? I think that is your scheduled. But once again, I think the same problem may come. Last time, as you have asked me to whether we can we can cancel the class, but.
Sir, if we can have after the vacation, it will be great, because that week we will be having a lot of tests.
Yes,
it's almost like 2 tests a day.
Yes, sir.
It's spread out evenly, because really if someone is having a problem in his or her family, then taking 2 tests in a close proximity in time, that may not remove that constraint.
But one will be like second week of October, second will be mid-November, so 1 month
Yes,
gap
sir.
is there.
Sir, actually, sir, during that week, if you take the test in the Puja week, sir, in that week you already have like 5 to 6 tests, sir. It will be very difficult for us to prepare for them.
But in the Puja holidays.
So tell me the date. Can you just?
The dates are not confirmed. It's just that we have been told it will be before that vacation.
Like 5th to I think 5th to 8th I think like 5th to 8th or
no,
like
in the academic calendar that is I think clearly mentioned, right? What is the week for your test? Let me just look at that. Let me open the academic calendar. Suggested window for test as per the regular class timetable schedule. Other classes will continue as per the timetable. So that is another rider I think they have given, which is 4/10 to 8/10, Monday to Friday, 4th to 8th October. So certainly 6th is falling within that. So that is why I am proposing that if it can happen next week only, 30th, before that test begins. So
can we have something like best of 2? That is out of the 2 tests.
Don't permit best of 2 because in the midterm the syllabus is not complete, so they are not allowing that. They allow a maximum of say 3:5, something like that at most. 60% of that, not 3:5, 60%, not 60, 3:5. Yeah, they say 3:5, so 30 and 50. That is the maximum, but if you wish, you can take it to lower one and take the final test with more weightage. And because I mean this will give you a feeling of also how to appear in the final test. So because whatever we have done so far, rather than increasing the syllabus and the complexity of the test, so next week means whatever we have done till today, maybe we can include up to that point. If you feel we can discard that RAM, saying that okay, RAM will be included in your end term but not in the midterm. So, but what about 6th? Tell me about 6th, because 6th we are not supposed to cancel the class as such. So.
Sir, like, can't you keep the test after Puja holiday? Like,
tell me the date, precise date. Everybody should
so just after Puja the next week.
More pressure.
Maybe 21st.
At that time there will be Diwali and all that thing. So if you agree, then I do not have any problem as such from my side. At that time you should not come and say that okay, I am having such and such other exam.
Yes, sir. 21st.
21st. Just let me.
Wait, are you talking about 21st October?
I think so.
Dashami. So like after that, like.
Diwali is when? Diwali is 4th November. Okay, so that is far away. So you are suggesting 21st?
October, sir.
21st
yes.
October. And then the final test, just let me see. When they said that final test, suggested window for test as per regular, that will be 15th November. Okay, so I mean 15th to 20th that. Okay, so 3 weeks probably we will have in that case. Okay, so finally it is decided that it will be on the 21st, right? Because it is at that extreme end, so it cannot be postponed further.
So it will be better that we first discuss together in our class group and.
Okay. Because personally, I feel that as early as possible, if you appear in the test, it will be better for you actually. The pressure is still not that much in the next week, so I was suggesting on.
Yes, I will let you know after discussing.
Right.
Via mail.
Please let me know because if 30th has to be the test, then you should also get some time for preparation. So tell me before the weekend. Today is Saturday.
So if 30th is the test, what will be the syllabus actually?
Whatever you some microphone.
So I was not able to hear properly.
Because probably your microphone is making noise or some other microphone is making noise. I do not know whose microphone is.
If the exam is supposed to be 30th, the Rampart will be excluded, right?
Rampart will be excluded. And RAM actually, let me just say, in practice, we do not give RAM experiment in general in the lab, or sometimes we give an option to the student that if you feel confident, then only use the RAM. And in practice, what happens? Some of the RAM chips are having bad locations. Students have, because the tri-state buffer did not work properly, so some of the RAM location have actually been burnt out. So it cannot store a particular bit. It is either stuck at 0 or stuck at 1. So that type of problem sometimes they face in the RAM. So we generally do not give the RAM in a physical experiment. And if we give, then we say that, okay, do not apply all higher order address bit to 0, because people have burnt out those in the first page. So we said that, okay, give some arbitrary combination other than all zeros in those address lines, so that you access some later pages where I think probably the location should be healthy. So in the midterm, I think for 2030th, we can exclude that RAM certainly.
So like, what would be the pattern of the test?
For that one only, I said that, okay, if you appear, then you know, rather than saying, you have done analog in the simulator based test, right? In the analog lab course.
Yes.
So I was asking Naushin, so probably you were not in my section. So how in your section it has been conducted, the analog electronics lab?
So like they gave a question and they asked us to do the simulation and write the readings and submit that.
Right, sir.
Okay, so it will be, so you need to design that circuit, right?
Yes,
sir. Everyone was used to design that circuit.
So here also, then maybe it will be a small design design involving, I mean, whatever you have learned. It will not be something like your challenge problem or some such thing. So a small problem, and that is very easy to do. So only you need to remember that, okay, whatever ICs you have used other than RAM certainly, what are their functionalities, what are the control lines, and you are free to check their data sheet. You are even free to check your own design, whatever you have submitted earlier. In the lab, I think we do not allow physically to check your, what do you call that, lab record. But here for this online test, we know that, okay, even if we say that, okay, don't see, some of your friends will look at to keep that at the fair platform. We said that let everyone look at their own design. So we are not putting that restriction as such, and datasheet anyway we provide in the lab also. Otherwise, the pin numbers and all, I think nobody memorizes as such. So whatever chip, I think last time I was trying to make a list of that. You remember? I mean, while I was hoping that, okay, the attendance will improve from 22, so it became 99 or something. So till that time, I was making a list of the chips that you have made, you have used so far. So now you can actually make an extensive list of that and see, because some of the basic ICs like NAND gate, inverter, I have not listed over there. So just list them, check it out once. But whenever you use something new, be very careful and think about testing that one in isolation, because in some design, some submitted design for challenge problem or otherwise, I find that you have used a common collector kind of say inverter in one submission I remember. So in that case, what is happening? The output is either becoming 0 or it becoming tri-state. So whatever it is connected to the next buffer, it is not taking the input properly. If it is in proper, I mean in lab, it would have taken, TTL would take open input as high. But in this case, I think it was not taking. So if you use something new, please check its data sheet once.
Also, sir, can you provide us some comments regarding our submissions?
Yeah, I plan to do that. But what is the problem? I was actually, because you are extending the deadline always, generally I used to send it to the TS for checking, and then for scrutiny, I get it back in time. But because of that extended deadline, I think many of them are still lying with me. I have not sent them to the TS. Only the TA told me yesterday that, sir, you are not sending it. I said that no, that is the problem. So I will send, and in between, I think those who want, some people are actually mailing me, and I'm just checking one at a time. So if you are having any specific query for a particular design, then I think you can mail me also. But otherwise, I think I certainly plan to give you a general feedback.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So most of us in our group are telling for next week only, and so next week before RAM syllabus, that is the syllabus, right? Okay.
So I think we'll decide, have opinion poll or discussion or debate.
Yes, for now it is 30. If it changes, we will inform you by a mail.
So by default, should I take it as 30 or?
Sir, poll will be great.
Pardon me?
So you can have a poll for others also.
No, but then the house becomes divided, right? So in that case,
so in poll it also happens that people come with different IDs and then vote again and again. So that is also a problem.
So let us consider that, okay, why it should be on 30th or why it should be on 6th. So not 6th, 7th, I think. So what are the pros and cons? So for 30th, I find that, okay, still it is not in the exam week. And I know that, okay, you hardly study the week before the exam begins. But when it is exam, certainly having another lab exam will be, it will put pressure on you. So in that case, having it on 30 will be better in terms of your studying about the lab or considering the total pressure. But if it is within that so-called exam week, 4th to 8th, then the pressure will mount to much higher extent. So that has been my understanding about setting the time. And probably I think you may not study about this lab in this week. That 30th you start studying, so that if you appear on 7th, it will be good. So let us think about to have it on 30th. Because in that case, I think even those who miss on 30th, there might be a scope of having it offline on 7th also. But 7th, can you suggest me that how I can satisfy both the students' requirement as well as the institute mandate that, okay, classes cannot be cancelled. So can you give me some suggestion? What should I do on 7th? I cannot officially say I am cancelling the class. And neither I want to do the other one. Other one means that, okay, you need to give me some substitute class timing, say on Saturday, or sometimes at between midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning. So rather than doing that, if you can suggest me something.
So like maybe you can keep both of those upcoming weeks as test weeks only.
Your voice becomes feeble. Can you just come closer to microphone and say?
So I was suggesting, so maybe you can keep the upcoming next 2 classes as tests only. Like whoever wants to give on 30th, they'll give on 30th, and the next class will be a holiday for them. And whoever wants to give on 7th, they'll not be giving on 30th. So
no, but I cannot spare 2 classes just for this test. I mean, already. So what I personally have thought of that if you all of you agree to give it on 30th. Then maybe 30th after the test or even before the test, I may suggest a very small problem that, okay, I mean, that will be official problem for that 7th, so that I tell the institute that, okay, the classes are not cancelled as such. So students are working on that. But as such, you will be free to submit anytime up to 14th. So I don't know, vacation starts from what day? Is it 13th or 14th?
It's 12, I guess.
It's 12, sir.
Okay, so we can extend the deadline so that physically you need not really have to attend the class on 7th, neither you need to submit anything on 7th. And the problem would be somewhat simpler so that you know, just a moment. Hello? Hello? Me. So yeah, what I was telling, in that case, it might be a very small problem. I will tell you on the day of the exam, so you need not have to take exam with very seriously. Whatever you have done so far, if you have done that sincerely, then with that, I think you'll be able to carry it out, because data sheet and everything will be available to you. So if you just remember that, okay, demultiplexer I use for this, or what is that? The decoder I am using for such structure, multiplexer I am using for such functionality. Okay, then you can always search and find it out, but it will be required to identify that, okay, what particular component you require for that purpose. So then officially I may say that, okay, that is the experiment on 7th, and then you can submit it at any time, just before the vacation or even in between the vacation. So will that work?
Yes, sir.
So we have to attend the class, right? Then on 7th, like for a brief amount of time, or like
for 7th. No, I was planning that, okay, if I can do that on 30th, suppose first 15 minutes on 30th, I tell you about the problem itself, because submission time will differ when you will submit, because the problem will be very simple, maybe within 1 hour or at most 1.5 hours you will be able to complete. So maybe first 10 minutes I will just introduce the problem. So it will be just an attenuated version of some other class, you can say. I mean, if you listen to the problem, then you will understand that it may not take much time for solving that problem also. So then I will say that second problem, which will be the problem for your test, which you can, but another thing, please ensure that, okay, you are having your camera working, because whenever it is a test, it is supposed to be a proctored test. So everyone should keep his or her camera on. Though I think I know that, okay, that is not really means of proctoring, in the sense that, okay, people are looking at the screen itself and getting that WhatsApp wave or whatever, so they exchange the information, which I think cannot be caught by that camera fitted therein. But anyway, that's a different story altogether. So please see that, okay, your camera works on that day. So because many of you are not really turning on the camera during the class, I do not know. So, and Amritakshu and Orpon, you said earlier that your laptop didn't have a camera. So now you are having a provision to at least attach a webcam or something like that, or having a different laptop. Amritakshu?
Sir, I have an external webcam.
Yeah. So I think Amritakshu also mentioned, and maybe by this time he managed to put one extra. So maybe Amritakshu is having a problem in the microphone, perhaps. I mean, apparently. Oh, okay. So you have got a camera, right? Yeah. So last time I remember you said, and so others also, please check that, okay, you are having a camera with you. Okay. So then it's only 4 o'clock. So if you wish, you can submit by today. I'll just circulate the form link a few minutes from now. Anything else you want to discuss or ask? So then we are considering 30th week, because I need to make the question, and probably I need to check it myself once, that, okay, how much time it really takes, because sometimes if we estimate it mentally, we find that there is some glitch somewhere which takes the student much more time. So I need to test it myself also sometime. So
sir,
yes.
Sir, in our analog lab, actually, before the test, you like give us a mock question paper of, like, we got the idea what will be the like type of question that will be asked. So like,
right. So here in this case, I think this is serving as the mock test for your final test. That's why this test becomes more important. That now your mock test is having a weightage, and you are having fairly good amount of time to prepare also. So that is what I am saying, that don't attach much weightage to this or much importance to this. Just I mean, I'm assuming that you sincerely work for the rest of the semester, I mean, till this point of time. So there should not be any issue about that. Why I am saying that it could be a mock test also, I may ask you later on that if you wish, after the test, somehow you could not fare well, then one may set a weightage of 0 also. So that is what I said, that in that case, if everybody feels, I can change the weightage also. But anyway, let us have the test first and then see, because we really do not have much time, and some very interesting experiments are still ahead. So Anyway, so can we close the meeting now, because then you can work and submit. I will just send the link for the link for Google form. Pushpa Lila, maybe I told to that okay, I will check your performance every week, that whether you are facing any problems. So yeah, you are now equipped with a laptop which runs the simulator. Pushpa Lila, Talekar Pushpa Lila, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else whose roll number is not starting with 19?
Yes.